Hi everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Adventure of a Lifetime, where we see that Chisa, Emily, and Hiroki are in for big trouble. So they fell asleep on their little private island, or their cove, and when they woke up, they see all these dark clouds and rain, and Chisa remembered that a typhoon was coming to the islands. But at least in episode 6, Emily got to feel the water with their feet for a little bit, go under the sea and see what's underneath all those interesting objects, colors, and she also got some swimming lessons from Hiroki and a little tour of the island, or the little island, from Finn the Dolphin and Chisa. But obviously it'll take more than that to get Emily's hatred for the sea to go away. But right now they have to get out of this island and away from this typhoon. And the canoe that they used to get to this island isn't working properly. The motor's not working. So let's see how they're going to deal with this. So she's like, oh wow, look at those waves. So the small inlet was sheltered, so there were hardly any waves at all. But of course they're going to have to go out to the big ocean. Yeah, so the sea was an arc war beyond the inlet. And it's too much for the canoe to handle. And then so the skies opened up. Okay, so open up as in it's raining hard. So I used the paddles to take us back to the beach. So we have to pull it up so it doesn't get swept away. So I was like, well, the best thing we can do is stay on this little island, let the natural architecture of the island protect us from the big waves, and when the weather gets better, then we can go back. And I wonder if the other people are looking for them now. It's like, oh no, the storm's getting pretty bad. Where are they? So as we pulled the canoe onto the beach, the heavy rain continued, and our clothes, dry after our nap, were soon soaked all over again. So we'll have to find a place to get out of the rain. Okay, so how about a cave then? So we rushed to take shelter in one of the caves on the rocky hillside. Oh, so there's a cave. That'll help them. So we found level ground and tried to get comfortable. And Emily and Chisa sat to either side of me. So on the outside, the heavy rain had grown into a full-on storm. The typhoons in the Ogasawara Islands were different from the mainland, and for a first-timer, they could be terrifying. Well, that's because on an island, there's water, and it's usually the warm waters that help propel and intensify the typhoons. And the reason the typhoons weaken once they hit mainland is because there's no more water to support them. So obviously they start to dissipate. But anyways, Hiroki and the two girls are inside. It's like, well, if we were out in the open water, we could have drowned by now. Well, at least the engine broke, so it kind of deter us from going out to the open ocean. Because if it didn't work, we probably would have went out to the open ocean and those big waves would have swept us up, and the end result was that we could have drowned. So she just sat gloomily listening to the wind wailing outside. Well, we had already contacted our families and been told to sit tight in the cave. Okay, so Looks like they know about the situation. So just for a little bit. Selma took my hand, her expression worried. Oh yeah, sure. Selma gripped my hand a little more tightly. And obviously she's gonna get jealous, like, oh, so she's trying to get closer to Hiroki. And no, I'm not going to lose to Emily. I'm not going to let her take Hiroki away. Hey, what are you doing, Chisa? And trying to find some words to justify her actions. I'm just cold. Chisa said, grabbing my arm and squeezing up against me. Hey. Hey, so what's different with me versus that other girl on the other side? And you can see Hiroki's face all, I'll say, embarrassed and just uncomfortable. Well, that's not what I meant, you know. Chisa was in her swimsuit, and I was shirtless. With her so close, her bare skin sat right against mine. Hey, you know, your boobs are touching me.
Nani?
So? Never mind. Well, I don't want to make it obvious. So Chisa's breast resting against my arm. Its softness was made all the more apparent. And when we were little, Chisa and I had bathed together, but there had been no trace of her body filling her bikini now. And now Emily's trying to, I'll say, get even. Well, and they can hear the echoes of the waves, and so suddenly a huge gust of wind blew into the cave, and the two girls shrieked and grabbed onto me. Well, it's hard to breathe, squeezed between them. I think it's more like he's kind of nervous. But anyways, like, well, we should be safe here in the cave for now. But the question is, like, when is it going to be safe for them to get out of the cave and back home? So let me pull closer, her eyes full of tears, though her eyes also suggested that any uninvited advances would be swiftly rejected. You know, this was a bunker used by the Imperial Japanese Army in the World War II, right? Chisa? Even Chisa isn't sure. So after hearing that, Emily seemed to become bothered by something else. What is it? So supposedly there was a base here on Ogasawara, right? A military base? And so all these sunken battleships and freighters in the seas around the Ogasawara Islands turn into tourist attractions. Well, that would be interesting. And the famous battle of the two of Iwo Jima took place on the Ogasawara Islands. But that was still far from Chichijima. The Ogasawara Islands were pretty far out into the Pacific Ocean. So summary of what? That's true. Oh, you know, the souls of the people who were killed in the war. So Chisa used a spooky voice in an attempt to scare Emily.
島をさまよってるって。嘘よ、信じないわ。幽霊なんているわけないもの。非科学的よ。
I wonder what she's just trying to do to Emily. I think she's just trying to scare her. Like, well, you don't fit here.
信じようが信じまいが出るときは出るわよ。
Well, that's really up to debate.
いないもん。いるなら出してみなさいよ。いいの？
Oh, you probably are afraid of ghosts. You're trying to deny it, trying to make yourself believe that ghosts don't exist.
ダメ、やっぱなし。
As Emily buried her face in my shoulder, it was apparent that she was afraid of it more than the sea. Oh, come on, Chisa, that's enough. Stop teasing Emily.
はーい。まあ、このまま私らが幽霊になっちゃうかもしんないしね。
It's like, well, if we keep ending up like this, we may end up dying and we may end up becoming ghosts ourselves. Sally becomes gloomy when she remembers our situation.
私たち、ここで死んじゃうのかな?
Hey, you're getting carried away. We'll make it back once the storm clears. But the question is, how long? How long will the storm last? And once again, the wind, it went up. The gusts went up. So a poorly timed gust of wind blew in, getting the girls all worked up again.
もうおしまいよ。私たち助からないんだわ。パパ、ママ、ごめんなさい。わがままなエミリーを許して。バカ言わないで。この程度の台風、小笠原じゃいつものことなんだから。
So, this is a small typhoon compared to the other ones that I've experienced. So, we'll be okay. Be optimistic.
言いながら、あなただって震えてるじゃない。
But your body is telling me a different story, says Emily.
それはちょっと寒いからで。
So come up with some excuse to hide her true intents.
じゃあパーカー着なさいよ。ヒロ君に抱きついてないで。そんなの私の勝手でしょ。こっちの方が直接ヒロキのぬくもりを感じられてあったかいんだもん。
So the two of them tightened their grips like anacondas.
死んじゃう前に言いたいこと言わせてもらうわ。私、シサのこと嫌い。
And basically their jealousy has basically exploded to the roof, where so now Emily's stand up like, well, I hate you, Chisa.
なんですって。意地悪なことばかり言うんだもの。私がヒロ君と仲いいと邪魔しようとしてくるし。
And I hope this doesn't go out into a full fight. And with that, she glared at Chisa's hand on my arm.
邪魔なんてしてないわよ。意地悪もしてない。嘘よ。嘘じゃない。ただあんたがエミリーが甘ったれてるからちょっとだけムカついてるだけ。
I'm pretty sure Emily can see that Chisa's lying, but the same is true vice versa.
ひどいわ。あんまりよ。
And now they've pretty much degenerated into name calling. Wow.
どっちがよ。
Oh, come on, girls, cut it out. Quit fighting.
ヒロキは黙ってて。
Okay, so Hiroki can't stop them.
ヒロ君には関係ない。
Well, it does too. If you two are going to keep arguing, stop squeezing me. So apparently, you're hugging me so hard that I'm going to choke.
意地悪。わがままで考えなしのお嬢様。
But they ignore Hiroki and continue fighting.
ひどいヒロ君。私は意地悪って一つしか言ってないのに、小
Come on, say something.
3つどころじゃないわよ。もっと言ってやるんだから。
Come on, say something. See, she's a bad person.
シサの意地悪意地悪意地悪意地悪意地悪意地悪。
So we see an evil dolphin in the background along with the evil shark.
エミリーの甘えん坊甘えん坊甘えん坊甘えん坊甘えん坊。
Okay, stop it right now. Put myself between them to stop the fight. Come on, this is not the time for a fight. Right now, we have to work together.
私に言わないでよ。喧嘩売ってきたのはあっちなんだから。
Oh, now they're pointing fingers. Oh, she started it.
そうしまいだもん。だとか言ってすっきりしたわ。おやすみ。
So Emily turned her back to us and lay down on the floor of the cave. She closed her eyes but never released my hand.
それはこっちのセリフよ。
Oh, come on. So Chisa wants to continue the fight. So Chisa turned away and laid down. She didn't hold my hand but pushed her back right against me. And it looked like they were both going to sleep in a huff. Oh boy. It'll be a while before the typhoon moved on, and sleeping was a much better way to kill time rather than fighting. That works. So I made myself comfortable but decided to continue my nap. Okay, so the typhoon, well, at least the rain stopped, but looks like there's still dark clouds. So as I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, I realized something fell off about my hand. Something that I should have been holding on tightly was gone. Wait a minute.
どうしたの、ヒロキ。
Emily's gone. So we got up and left the pitch black darkness of the cave.
風、止んでるね。
But anyways, looks like the winds died down, so... And it looks like the typhoon's gone, so it's past. Well, the storm had been violent, but apparently it's still quite small. So well, it is a typhoon, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And we could have heard the gentle beach waves through the calm, quiet air. And a beautiful blonde girl sat on the tiny beach. So what's going on with her? Emily was staring up.
綺麗。
So I think she's looking at the stars. Huh? There you go. So I turned my head skyward and found an inky sky filled with a sea of countless stars. The sky, clear after the typhoon, glittered with millions of tiny distant lights. And there, running through the center of it, was the Milky Way. Ooh. The incredible scene had me mesmerized. So Ogasawara's beauty included not only the sea, but the sky as well. I said as the scene before me stirred up many memories. And Chisa stood next to me murmuring.
普通だと思うけど、まあ綺麗なのは確かね。
But for Chisa, who's pretty much lived on the island all her life, she finds it a daily routine, nothing special out of the ordinary.
素敵なところね、小笠原って。台風は怖かったけど。
Now Emily's like, well, I do say that this place has its special points after all. Yeah, definitely.
だからあれくらい普通だってば。
But maybe she needs to understand that it's probably Emily's first time seeing all of this. So Emily suddenly broke out into a joyous laughter. Well, I didn't know why, but I couldn't help join in. So, ha 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 ha.
どうした？二人とも。だって。
Well, I mean that. Yeah?
極端すぎるんだもの。さっきまで死ぬんじゃないかってくらいの嵐だったのに。見てよ、この星空。
But Emily's quite impressed, at the sun changing weather. It's well, at first it was all stormy, really dangerous, high tides, lots of waves, but now it's all calm and a beautiful night sky. Well, where I live, you can hardly see any stars at all. Well, I'm pretty sure it's because the high-rise towers and pollution.
悪かったわね。どうせ田舎ですよ。
Oh, come on, this is nothing special. So Emily and I went on laughing while Chisa was pouting beside us. So things like, well, I wonder if she's wait, so it looks like Emily and Hiroki have more things in common than me and Hiroki, right? So just a few hours ago, we were in a deadly storm, but now we were beneath this beautiful night sky. The difference was overwhelming. But Chisa only grew more and more upset. To her, it looked like we were making fun of her home. But then again, the fact that she came out here, she gets to enjoy things that probably none of her neighbors and her family could enjoy. Oh, I'm sorry, Chisa. We're not laughing at Ogasawara. Well, I guess looking at this gorgeous sky put us in a weird mood. And she didn't seem to buy it. Somebody said as she finally stopped laughing and wiped the tears from her eyes. But she just stood on guard, her face stoic. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I'm jealous that you are able to live in this kind of world on a regular basis. Yeah, this place is all free, all open. Emily nodded. So Chisa had been bracing herself for more insults, but this surprise compliment made her unsure of how to respond. I wonder why. So what's Chisa's rationale for why are you free? I'm not sure about that. She honestly seemed unaware. Well, I think it's probably because Emily, she's a newcomer to this place, and she's just way too different compared to everyone else. Well, she looks different as well. But Chisa does admire the courage that Emily took to break away from her family and take a ferry or hitch a ferry to the Ogasawara Islands. I'm sure that's a yes. And it was a pretty big one as well.
のナチュラルに上から来るところほっとムカつくわ。
Okay. Emily smiled at Chisa, then went over to the water. She stopped when it was about ankle deep and then waved us over.
ねえ来て。
Okay, come over here then. So Chisa and I were still barefoot, so we went in after her.
ほら海に星が映ってる。
Oh yeah.
上も下も星だ。
Ooh, wow.
海に眠る宝物を見つけたわね。
So is this it? Well, too bad you can't take this home though.
でも思い出は残るわ。
But at least it's in my memory, and I can remember it. So Emily stared at the aquatic jewels spread around her feet.
幽霊船にはね、指輪があるの。
Okay, so there's a ring.
指輪？パパがママに送ろうとしたものなんだって。
Ooh. So I wonder what she mean by the word wanted.
パパはこの島でママにプロポーズしたの。けど指輪を渡す前に船が座礁してしまって、パパもママも救命ボートに乗って助かったけど、指輪は船と一緒に海に沈んじゃったのよ。そうだったんだ。
So we kind of see why this treasure is important. Well, not just to Emily, but her parents as well.
私の両親は今離婚しようとしてるの。ママはアメリカにいて、夏休みに私はママの元へ行かされるはずだった。
And I think it's like, well, because the mom and dad are too distant, they kind of feel separated, not really together anymore. It's like, well, let's just divorce. But of course, I think the dad's trying to convince the mom, like, no, I'm still together, I still love you. And he's trying to find I'll say like a big way to show her that he still loves her. But he didn't want to, so he ran off to Gasawara, right? Emily nodded. So she must have left for the ferry after finishing her last class of the summer, and that's why she was still in her uniform.
私はハーフだから、両親が離婚したらどちらに引き取られてもどちらか一方の国を捨てないといけなくなる。
That's true.
私、ママの故郷のアメリカも好きだけど、生まれ育った日本も大好き。今日もっと好きになったわ。
So I do want to see my mom, but she's in America, and you can't really have it both ways if she does divorce. She said as she stared at the ocean and night sky of Ogasawara.
でもどうして指輪を？結婚する前、パパはすごく貧乏で、貧しいながらも貯めたお金で買ったのがその婚約指輪だったの。
So in a sense, the ring that went down with the boat, it has really big significance to what for the father.
パパからママへの愛の証ってわけ。
There you go.
それを引き上げることができれば、あの頃の愛情を取り戻せるかもしれないって思ったの。
Emily smiled sadly after saying this.
本当、私って子供よね。そんなので人の気持ちが変わるはずないのに。
I didn't agree with her though. Well, we're just kids that didn't have the power to change much in the grown-up world. But even so, if Emily wanted to make a difference, then her biggest chance really was finding that ring. That's true. So a gentle breeze drifted by. It caught Emily's hair as she brushed it behind her ears and looked over at us.
二人ともありがとう。私の無謀な冒険に付き合ってくれて。 切れそうよ。
Well, maybe it's time for me to forget about that ring. Well, I thought I was going to make something big happen, but I guess I should be more realistic about my thought process. I'm pretty sure Chisa and Hiroki aren't going to let Emily go home like this again. Well, we still want to find the ring because the fact that he mentioned that the father spent all of his savings on it really shows that he really cares about the wife or the mother. So neither Chisa nor I knew how to respond though. Well, part of me didn't want her to give up, but I knew she had to go home tomorrow. Or she had to go home tomorrow. She would have be better off this way.
思い出を作ってくれてありがとう。ママのところへ行っても忘れないわ。特に今夜のことはね。
She said playfully before waking up or walking up the beach and back to her or the cave. Says she's watched her go, she murmured grumpily.
そんな事情があるなら早く言ってよね。
Well, I was kind of angry that she hid all the details. She didn't really give us very clear facts or information about this ring in the first place. So maybe around episode I think it was maybe 2 or 3 before running after Emily.
待って、エミリー。
It's well, if she did mention about this, then it would have kind of put better light on her. Well, we really do have to find this ring. It's of important significance. She took Emily's hand shyly and walked hand in hand with her to the cave. And as there was still time until morning, it looked like Chisa wanted to make a few more memories with her new friend. Hey, wait up, you two! Well, not wanting to be left behind, and ran back to the cave as well.
どう？治りそう？
Okay, so it's the next day, and okay, so I think the canoe, the motor's still broken. Well, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So it was the first morning, and I was working on the canoe's motor. The problem seems simple enough that even a novice like me could fix it. So maybe there's just something stuck in the propellers. Well, if it hadn't been for the storm, we could have made it back to Chijima yesterday.
そう、よかった。
Or maybe I think it just needed a push, or maybe it was just water got in the motor and it made it hard to start. Well, by the way, where's Chisa? Emily straightened up and looked out toward the entrance of the inlet.
まだ戻ってこないわね。
Or toward. Oh, so it looks like Chisa decided to take another stroll around the sea with Finn. So the outrigger canoe can only sail on very calm seas. And even though the typhoon was gone, if the waves hadn't died down, we would have to wait it out. But then they swam back to the beach.
ねえ、ヒロキ、ちょっと来て。
So what's wrong? So what is it? I'm kind of busy. I'm trying to get this canoe started.
いいから、エミリーも。九太郎、エミリーお願い。
So what's going on? So it looks like Finn noticed something, and they need Emily and Hiroki's help.
何かあったの？
So I had a bad feeling about Chisa's anxious mood, but Emily and I joined her in the water and headed for the inlet entrance.
この下見て。
Wait, what's going on? So though Emily and I were suspicious, we looked down into the water. So this was the same area Emily and I had gone swimming in the day before. But the seafloor was completely different now. Wait a minute. What's this? Ooh. Looks like they found something special. I was so surprised that I lost all of my air. Okay, he needs to go get some breath. Fresh air. Yeah, isn't this the So in the distance, barely within reach of the sun's rays, was something that hadn't been there the day before. At first I could only make out a large, shadowy object like a boulder, but after looking more carefully, it was a ship. And a shipwreck, actually. Wait, what the?
昨日はあんなのなかった。
Wait, so where'd that come from?
ってことは幽霊船だ。
So, it is the ghost ship. So last night's typhoon had brought it right to us, the legendary ghost ship. Interesting? Okay, so looks like this is the opening. Okay, so I just got past the opening, and even though that's usually a place where I end the episode, there's still a few more minutes before I can cut this off, so let's just continue for a little bit. So anyways, summer in the Ogasawara was about to reach its climax. So now that we're past the typhoon, it's gonna be hot days coming ahead. So Emily Shirase was about to embark on her greatest adventure yet. So it looks like she's just about ready to go.
本当だね。
And even Finn's excited. Ooh, wow!
でもこれちょっと胸のところが窮屈なのよね。
So I wonder how Emily was able to get scuba equipment. Because the first time she tried, she failed because she didn't have a license. And I wonder how they were able to get a license for her ASAP. But either way, Emily's like, isn't this a little bit tight?
ああ、そうですか。
Oh, so are you trying to show off your body? Hey, think you'll be okay that deep, and if you get scared, just let the instructor know. Oh, so she's taking scuba lessons.
怖い？海が？
And looks like she's overcome her fear of the ocean or the sea.
私は白瀬エミリ。海の恵みが生んだ女よ。
Well, I'm confident now, so looking at her, she would think she really was the daughter of some oceanic deity. So Emily put on her underwater mask.
行ってくる。
Okay, good luck, Emily.
インストラクターの言うことをちゃんと聞くのよ。先走って無茶するんじゃないわよ。
And I wonder if the instructor is Finn the dolphin. No, or probably not. But Finn's like, okay, I agree. So So Emily gave us a thumbs up before she leapt into the ocean. So I kind of like all the different cinematic effects that take place. So anyways, okay, so she's undergoing training to get her diver certification. So she's taking diving lessons. Well, that way she would be able to recover the treasure from the ghost ship. And she was still afraid of the sea, but she wanted to recover her parents' lost engagement ring. That need was stronger than her fear. And the day after the typhoon, we eventually made it back to Chichijima, but Emily didn't take the ferry back home. So she decided she wanted to stay a little bit longer, because now the real deal is here.
私、この島でやりたいことがあるの。それが済むまで帰らないから。
It's like, well, I found it, Eureka. I'm gonna go and get it.
わがままだって分かってる。でも、お願い、許してパパ。
I think this is when she was calling.
本当？ありがとう、パパ。大好きよ。
Okay, so Emily was calling back home and I'm gonna stay longer. I found something special. I'm gonna go get it. So just wait a little bit longer. Suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and smiled brightly as she hung up the phone. She had used the cafe's telephone to call home. There you go. She wanted to apologize for running away and let her father know that she was okay. About 3 days too late though.
お父さん、なんで？しばらく島にいていいって。
And he agrees to let her stay, so that's good.
やったじゃん。
And looks like Chisa's all happy now. Alright, let's go.
まだまだお楽しみは続くというわけですね。
Okay. Well, I'm glad he let you stay, Emily.
ま、ダメって言われても残るつもりだったけどね。幽霊船を発見したのにのこのこ帰るなんてできっこないもん。
Well, we found the target, so there's pretty much no excuse for me to go home empty-handed.
人生はアドベンチャーよ。
And just like what Grandma Machiko said.
無一文のくせによく言うわ。
Oh, come on.
金がないのかい？ならうちでバイトするといい。ちょうど足を悪くしてて誰か雇いたかったんだ。
Wow. And just at the right time, it's like, well, I could do more with more assistance. But then again, didn't Machiko earlier said that she wanted to close the shop down if she couldn't handle it anymore? That's quite the irony. But then it's like, well, if Emily's gonna work for me, then I'll think again.
おばあさま。
Hey, but I've been here. Just ask me, Grandma. Well, I prefer Emily over you.
あんたはさっさと家帰りな。このろくでなし。
Yep, there you go, Seiko. Well, I prefer working with Emily than you. She looks beautiful, she looks cute, and she's a female. Old buddy.
あなたりこそ。
And I think it's probably because Machiko and Hiroki don't really get on good terms. And I think he forced himself to come like, well, you insist that you can handle the place very well, but you're falling apart as well. Whatever then.
ですが、おばあさま、どうして見ず知らずの私に親切にしてくれるのですか?
And I kind of wonder as well. So Emily looked anxious as she asked, but Grandma just laughed.
あんたを見てると思い出すのさ。昔よね。
Oh, so it does remind her of the past. Like, you kind of remind me about all these times.
あんた、私の若い頃にそっくりだよ。
Oh, even better. What? There's no way you look like Emily. That's just rude. Oh, but at least he should support Grandma Machiko at this point.
失礼はどっちだい？ 私だって昔からしわくちゃだったわけじゃないよ。
Oh, shut up, you, grandson. Grandma waved her cane angrily.
まあまあ、マチコばあちゃん抑えて。
At least Chisa's is trying to calm her down though. And that's how Emily started working at her shop for the rest of her stay on Chichijima.
よかったじゃん。バイトのお給料でスクーバーの講習代の心配もなくなるし。貯まるまでにしばらくかかってしまうけどね。そこは大丈夫かと。
Why not? Well, they were gonna let Emily pay for the train later. Okay.
マチコさんが言うんじゃ逆らえないな。
Well, if that's the case, then okay. So that was the scuba diver shop's owner, Chisa's father. So Grandma was well known on the island, and thanks to her influence, they would let Emily pay for her train later. And so today marked the second day of her diver certification training. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop here for episode 7. So lots of interesting things happen. The fact that Emily and Chisa, they were kind of fighting, being jealous about Hiroki, but it looks like they got to learn about each other's, I'll say, like their special personality. And after that typhoon, it kind of brought them closer. But I'm pretty sure they're still kind of jealous about Hiroki being with one of the girls. But on the other hand, it's kind of interesting that the typhoon also brought them the ship that they've been looking for during this whole time, the ghost ship. And it's kind of like when the divers were able to find the Titanic about 80 years or like 70 years later after it sank. So it sank around like I forgot the year, 1919. It was underwater for over 70 years until we had enough technology to be able to dive down and find the second Titanic in 1989. And now it's kind of given Emily new inspiration that she can find this really special item, a ring, to give to her father. And it might bring Emily's parents closer together. The fact that I think it's like the moms and the dad are too distant, mom being in America, the dad being in Japan, and I kind of feel like the relationship has fractured. And we'll see how all this goes down as the story goes on. So with that in mind, I'll see you in the next episode.